Hello, it is Diane with Diane's Blue Hearts and Butterflies.com, and I have been wanting to make a card like this. I don't know what to call it, maybe a pop-up slider card for a long time, and I finally found a person that had some instructions. Her name is Jill Blanchette, and so I wanted to try this technique with my stamping group and my in-person stamping group. And basically it's a card that can fold up and go inside of a regular envelope, and then it can pop open or slide open to stand up. And so the in-person host at this this month's, which is June 2023 class, fell in love with the monkey stamp, the stamp set called Little Monkey, and the punch that's coordinating. It's in the 2023-2024 annual catalog, and she wanted to use that. And she also found the Taco Fiesta, which is on that same page in the catalog, and this one had carried over from another catalog. But it is really kind of a fun, cute card making stamp set because it has so many cute ways to use it. You've got all these different faces that you can put on different things. There's a sombrero that you can put with different things. You can mix and match and just make a whole bunch of cards. This one is more like puns because it refers to some of the images, like holy guacamole, it's your birthday, and long time no taco, and different things like that. So those are the two stamp sets that we are working with in this class, and this was the technique. And just so we would learn it well, she suggested that we just make both of the cards the same way so that they would get more practice in being able to do it and be able to have this really cute standing up card that somebody could display and be able to use. So I'm going to go through what you'll need. I will have the dimensions measurements for these items on my blog, which is www.dianesblueheartsandbutterflies.com. And then it will link back to this video so that you can be able to watch the instructions of how to put everything together. So you will start with a base. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, like a standard kind of card base. There is the slider section, which is the part that stands up through the middle. And this one is the same primary color, and it's 5 1/2 by 3. There are 2 white cardstock pieces that will go on the front and back of this. You will, as you're stamping these, need to remember that about the last inch or so, you need to keep things above that, because once it's inside the card, you'll kind of, when you push it in, there's still going to be about an inch or so that is going to be hidden. I don't know if you can see that back behind this inch right here. So you'll want to just remember that and keep your items that you want people to see most up in this area. And I have one for the front and one for the back. The front is kind of your message, and then on the back side you can put some images, and then you could write your message to that person. But you'll need to stamp on both of those. Now, on this card, I created a panel that you could have to go on the front piece that stands up, and it kind of just makes it look like there's 2 layers. The other card we kind of created with a label to go here, and then just an image to go on the end, and then I added some images of the flowers too. Now, some of the images in the monkey are not able to be cut out with the punch. It's primarily the parts of the monkey, the closed banana, and some other decorative parts and pieces like for eyes and such. And so this one, we used a label. So I gave the people that came to the class an option to have that extra layer, and this piece is 3.5 by 2 1/4, and then this one is 3 1/4 by 2, and this is the one you could stamp on or stamp images or whatever you want on this one. Now this one I did put some items that were kind of popped up on it, because this will not be going through the slide part here. So when you're working on this one, you don't really want to have any dimension much on this piece, so that it'll slide easier through the slit in the bottom. I'm going to get to that, how are we going to score and cut and everything on that. I also have DSP to go on. It's going to be the piece behind the slide up part, the piece behind in front of that part, and then the piece on the front to be decorated. And you can use any decorative paper that you want, any designer series paper. There are two pieces that are 4 inches by 1.5 inches. One piece that is 4 by 3/4, and then there's some other scrap white pieces. There's also with the monkey one, I gave them a scrap of the Daffodil Delight so that they could do the banana on that. And in order to hold this one, so that if you wanted to do the closed banana that you can punch out, you can use your Post-it notes to hold that in there and be able to use that. Another thing that I brought out was, we don't have it anymore, it's a chalk marker, or you could use a white pencil to color like the banana part, the inside, if you do the one that's open. And I had that out and available for them. So just some scrap pieces for them to use. And then I'll get out my trimmer so that we can go ahead and show, because basically when you're putting it together, it's going to be the mechanism that is the most difficult part, I would say. So actually I'm going to need the arm out on this. And so you're going to want to put your, I hope you can, I'm trying to get this in here where it can be seen. You're going to want to lay this base down in landscape, which means the long side across the top. You're going to want to start at 1 inch, which is right here. Do not want to have the cutting blade, you want the scoring blade. So you'll score at 1, at 2 3/4. That's basically 3 of those major lines before the 3. So it's the third one. So 2 3/4. Score 3 3/4, which is the quarter right before the 4. We'll score it at 5 1/2, which is exactly in half. Then you're going to go to 7 1/4, which is the 1/4 past the 7. Eight 1/4, and then 10. So basically at the 5.5, you could have turned it around and just finished up the same as the others, but this is just keeping it going. Now you're going to want to fold the score line that's in half. Make sure that that lines up pretty good, and you want to go ahead and use your bone folder to burnish that edge. Then we're going to open it back up at the 5.5. I'm going to close this arm because I don't need it now. I am going to turn my trimmer sideways. On the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, there's a ruler along the track for the trimming track and that blade. So we're going to line up the 5.5, which is right here. You're going to want that score line to be right in this track. You want to move your blade over to where it matches up with the 1/2 inch. I need to do some little bit of cleaning up on my trimmer. It's a little catchy. So you want it to be at a 1/2 inch. You put the blade down, and then you're going to cut a slit from 1/2 inch down to 3 3/4. And right there. And then you'll lift that back up, move your trimmer cutting blade out of the way, and then I can set that aside. So what you have done is you've created this track. I think I might need to, well, let me see. Could probably use my snips. Just didn't quite go all the way through up here. I'm just going to trim it up a little. I can see where it was trying to cut. So there is the slit that is cut in this card. So now everything else you're going to want to continue to fold and burnish, and you're basically folding everything inside and underneath. Want to make sure your sides line up. And if you have double checked and scored everything correctly, everything should line up on both sides to be basically mirror images. Sorry, that just takes a little bit. So when you fold it together, it's going to look something like this, and they should be even. Now, these outer 1-inch sections, you're going to want to put some tear and tape on. And I just go ahead and put a couple of lines on here to basically hold them together, because this is what's going to glue to your sliding piece. And you'll want it on both ends. It's really kind of nice that it's just, you're able to tear it. You don't have to cut it like you did the old sticky strip. That tells you how long I've been stamping, for a long, long time. So when you get this, you're going to want to, I'm going to switch over here just a moment. Pull out some pieces that I've already got done. Come on. I've already kind of punched out some things. I did want to kind of show some of this though. So the one thing I did want to point out, that there's 3 different monkeys in this set. The only one that the punches out is the one with the straight legs that is standing up. It's not the one with the swinging legs, and it's not the one that's hanging. It's only this one. And then the only banana that it cuts is the closed banana, not the opened banana. And then there's, it does like some eyes. It'll do eyes and then the face. So if you wanted to just do punching out papers and then gluing them all together, you could create a monkey that is just papers glued together, and it you don't have to stamp it. But I did want to show this for that trick on the banana. You do want to make sure that you stamp it on the side where the banana does punch. And then, like I said, you can use a Post-it note. You put it inside. I think I've got it up too high. You put it inside, and it comes in from this end, not the one where it closes, but the opposite end. And then you just line up that image in the punch, and then you just punch it out. And that's how simple that is. And then you get a little banana piece. When you are punching the monkey, you want to do it kind of down towards the bottom of the cardstock, because it's really gonna not need to cut a whole bunch of this other stuff. And that's something else you want to worry or look at when you're punching things, is make sure that you don't punch things too closely. I mean, don't stamp things too closely, because there is some space around these areas and they're going to be cut up. So if you were to stamp your banana on the far this side and try to get it in here, you're going to end up cutting up everything that's in the middle just to get to that banana, which is why I suggested doing it on the side closest to the side that you're going to be doing that. So anyway, let me push this in here just to show the monkey. And I kind of close it a little bit till I get it lined up, just to kind of hold it, make sure that everything's done, and then you just punch it. Other little pieces fall out, and you just get those off to the side. All right, so that is what I wanted to show with that. Get that out of the way. All right, so I've already done this. I haven't colored my stuff yet. I was going to color it before. I think I'll just color it after for the purpose of this. So I'm going to want to, oh, I forgot to grab, need the adhesive runner, so put some adhesive on here so that it holds to this and doesn't just fall off. And then if you want to do it up closer to the top, you can, or you could just kind of have it in the middle area. It's up to you. So that's the front. I did little vines and just swinging by to say hi. And of course, there are two sides to every cardstock, in case you make a mess. And I didn't do some stamping right, so turned it over and was able to just get it the same. I'm gonna make sure that your glue doesn't hang over the edges. All right, and you probably want to go ahead and glue on the Designer Series paper. So this little one, picture which way you want it to be the front. So I'm going to have this be the front. And then the slit is right here. So these two will go right there on each side. And you just kind of get it centered in that area. It's a little bit smaller than the section of cardstock. And then this one will go on the other side, just kind of square it up. Now, to put this together, this will slide into that slot, and then each of these ends, you're going to want to have them folded under. I'm going to turn it over. So this is the bottom. You want to kind of get it centered in between where the slit is. And then you also want to line this bottom of this slider up with that first fold line, but you don't want it sticking over. Move it back over this way just a little bit. And then just take and remove the backing from the tear and tape. Make sure that this flap is down. Oh, it moved a little bit. Get this straightened out again. And you don't want to set it down until you are really sure of where it is. Okay. Now, you're going to take this side, pull the backing off of this end. And then you're going to basically just fold it in half. And you want to make sure that these ends come together. And that basically creates, this holds your slider and everything else kind of folds up. This will fit in the standard size envelope, medium envelope for mailing. And remember, anything that you put on this center part is going to could create an issue with the slider mechanism working, because it'll be hitting those things. So if you want to put anything on here, make sure it's flush with it. The other stuff you can add on here and on the front, and I would color this before I put it on here. See, this is what I was trying to explain with that. I stamped in Daffodil Delight ink, and then I just used that white marker or white colored pencil to color that banana flesh so that it looks a little bit whiter. So that's basically how to do this card, and you just can decorate it any way you want to. And there's a couple of different ways. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will check out my blog. It's over at www.dianesblueheartsandbutterflies.com, and check out the other projects that I have as well. The like I said, the measurements for this card will be over there, and I hope that you will come back and watch other videos I make. If you like this video, please like, and if you'd like to see others, click the subscribe button on YouTube, and then Also, if you will press the little bell icon, you will be notified the next time that I upload videos. I generally do this about once a month. I have a regular full-time job that I do. I'm not quite retired yet. Wish I could be. And I love stamping and sharing ideas with people and teaching them how to do certain techniques and things. And I hope that you will enjoy watching my videos and stamping and cutting and embossing and everything else along with me. So thank you for your time and have a good day.